everyone, welcome to ixamBee. The PFRDA exam date has been announced as the 5th of November. We are starting with a series of important questions across the various subjects given in paper 2, and in between we'll also cover paper 1 important questions that you should be preparing for. In today's video, I am going to talk about management and discuss some important questions related to your management syllabus. So management is one of the 7 subjects that are there in your PFRDA exam, and the syllabus is also very much the same for the SEBI grade exam. So all of the students who are preparing for SEBI grade A should also keep these in mind. So if I look at specifically the management syllabus, it has 6 aspects talking about the nature and the scope of management, the role of managers, various leadership styles, the motivation and morale related topic, and the communication. So these 6 topics are there. I have highlighted specifically the most important aspects that you should be covering from the first part, nature and scope, the management process, and the 5 functions, how they are. The roles of a manager is a very important topic. Leadership styles, knowing the different styles and when is used. The motivation and morale theories are important, and also understanding the communication aspect is very important. Management is relatively easy to do, but we should have the right focus. So as I told you, the focus areas should be your management basics, leadership styles and theories, and motivation related theories, and communication and the barriers you should also be aware about. The strategy here is very simple. Management is very easy to cover, but what happens is you easily forget it also. So consistency is important, and practicing MCQs which help you think is very important. Why? Because the questions over the past few years, what the trend has been in management is that the questions are relatively less direct, they are application based, and they make you think logically. So they try to absorb when you read management. It will be quick, but consistency is important here. So we will discuss some important questions today. Some will be direct, some will be application based, so that you holistically prepare for the subject. So let's delve into them and think. And that is exactly what we want at ixamBee, that students unfold their own potential by clearing their concepts and applying their mind and using those concepts. So let's get into it. The first question: the act of entrusting subordinates with the same power that are of the superior is termed as decentralization, centralization, delegation, departmentation, or fragmentation. The correct answer is delegation. Delegation of authority is done when the superiors are passing on their authority to some other person for certain particular task or projects at hand, right? So usually it flows from the superiors to the subordinates. Next question: an outline of the fundamental purpose which is specific in nature of an organization to achieve the vision is called its mission statement, objectives, policy statement, vision statement, or goal. The correct answer here is the mission statement. So mission statement is basically defining the company's business. Okay, what are its ultimate objective that it wants to achieve, and vision statement is actually where the company wants to reach, right? So how they are envisioning themselves to be present in the overall social and the economic structure. So that is what the vision statement, and mission is the way ahead as to achieve reach certain objectives and goals. Objectives and mission differ in terms of their time period. So objectives are usually relatively shorter in term as compared to the mission. Mission is like the ultimate objective of the organization. The next question: who amongst the following gave the 10 roles of a manager? So this is a direct question, factual one. These kind of questions should be very scoring for you. Whether it is Henry Fayol, H. Mintzberg, Peter F Drucker, W. E. Deming, or F. Taylor? The correct answer is Mintzberg. His full name is Henry Mintzberg. He characterized the roles of the manager into three categories: the interpersonal, informational, and decisional. And within them there are various roles. So there are 3 roles under interpersonal, 3 under informational, and 4 under decisional. And this is how he gave the 10 roles of a manager. Henry Fayol is associated with the 14 principles of management. Peter F Drucker is associated with an important concept known as the management by objectives. F W Taylor is associated with being the father of scientific management. And W E Deming, what is he famous for? You can write in the comment box, please. Write in the comments. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Who amongst the following is most closely related to the concept of job enrichment? Okay, is it Maslow, Alderfer, Herzberg, Deming, or Fayol? So we have the name of Deming here again. That's why I had not told you. Please do write in the comments box who is for what is Deming famous for, right? So correct answer for this particular question is Herzberg. His full name is Frederick Herzberg. He actually gave the 2-factor theory of motivation, and he is very closely associated with the concept of job enrichment. Next question, in which type of inventory management system the supply of components is regulated through the use of instruction cards sent along the production line? Is it EOQ, Kaizen technique, the total quality management, LIFO or FIFO method, or the Kanban technique? The correct answer is the Kanban technique, which is a scheduling system that is used in lean manufacturing and the just-in-time manufacturing. So whichever organization is following the just-in-time, which is when you order, when you're just about to finish your inventory for the next round, that is using the Kanban technique. So Kanban technique is actually a board which is telling you the level of inventory that you have for the different processes, and accordingly you try to manage the inventory. MBO, or the management by objectives, was given by Peter F Drucker. Yes, so I had told you in a previous question that Peter F Drucker is associated with the management of objectives. So this is another question that is being prepared in this particular question itself, right? So read these questions carefully, because with these questions that you are listening to, you will get a lot more information, right? So Peter F Drucker, who is associated with MBO, is a technique where the superiors and subordinates participate to set goals that are tangible, verifiable, and measurable. So they together come together to set the objectives in such a manner that you then become more committed to achieving those objectives. However, what is the disadvantage of this technique? Is the process is very quick and informal. The process has no effect on work and commitment. The program only emphasizes what should be done in an organization. Carrying out the process is time consuming and requires additional paperwork, and MBO duplicates other management practices. The correct answer here is D. This process, although is very good, as I told you, the superiors and subordinates are collaborating together to set out the goals. So in that case, what happens, the commitment level of the employees and the subordinates actually increases, right? So that is not the disadvantage. The disadvantage is this may become a tedious task which is time consuming. Okay, next question, which of the following motivation theory is based on the comparison between outputs and inputs of employees? Is it the parity theory, the cognitive evaluation theory, the expectancy theory, the equity theory, or the self-efficacy theory? The correct answer here is equity theory. So equity theory basically states that there are certain inputs and outputs. What the employees is inputting, that is the efforts, the skill sets, the time, and what is he getting in return. Okay, these can be tangible or intangible benefits that the employee is getting. So the employee tries to look at a parity, and if ever they find a disparity, that is when their motivation may fall. This theory was given by Stacey Adams, right? So another important thing to remember, Stacey Adams gave this particular theory. If you want to practice more questions free of cost. If you're preparing on your own, you can go to the website of ixamBee, where you find previous year questions also and various mock tests also for practice. So you will find both these aspects for both these exams of PFRDA and SEBI grade A. Let's move ahead with the next question in this series. Which of the following words best describes a systematic way of gathering information about the content, context, and the human requirements of a job, whether it's called a job design, a job analysis, job description, job specification, or job evaluation? The correct answer is job analysis. Okay, so job analysis breaks down into job description, which is related to the task and responsibilities associated with a job, and the job specification, which defines the requirement in terms of the knowledge base, the skill sets that are required from a person to be able to do that job, right? When the two are clubbed together, we call it job analysis. Next question, which of the following is not a motivator as per Herzberg? So Herzberg or Frederick Herzberg actually gave the two-factor theory, okay, where he identified either the factors can be hygiene factors or motivating factors, right? So which of them is not a motivating factor according to Frederick Herzberg? Is his responsibility, recognition, interpersonal relations, challenging work, or personal growth? The correct answer is interpersonal relations. These are hygiene factors. So hygiene factors are the factors whose existence does not lead to extra motivation, but if they do not exist, they can lead to dissatisfaction. However, motivating factors are those whose presence can actually lead to motivation and higher levels of satisfaction. 10th question, transformational leadership has which of the following characteristics? They employ a clear chain of command, they lead by with vision, they motivate their team by rewards and punishment, they follow instructions, or there is resistance to change. The correct answer is they lead with or by vision. So transformational leaders are the leaders who are motivating their employees through long-term visions, to giving them more authority and decision involvement in the decision making, and they actually facilitate their team to achieve goals, right? So they are the transformational leaders. When we use the terms rewards and punishment, this is more associated with the other form of leadership style that we talk about with transformational, and that is the transactional style of leadership. Okay, so this one is associated with the transactional style of leadership. Next question, a group decision making process which forbids negative feedback on any suggested alternative by any group member until all members have presented alternatives is known as groupthink, brainstorming, Delphi technique, nominal group technique, or the devil advocate technique. This question is not directly from the syllabus. However, understanding of these things help you to understand the management function. It can be a sub part. Okay, decision making is a sub part of the planning function of management, right? So such questions help you to enhance your scope of understanding of the syllabus that has been given for PFRDA and SEBI exam. So for this particular question, the answer is brainstorming. So brainstorming is a common technique that is used to generate more and more ideas for any decision that has to be arrived at when you're evaluating various alternatives to come at make a decision. So it's a very, very common technique and followed in most of the organizations, right? So brainstorming is a very important technique. Here everybody is allowed to give their ideas, and before anybody can comment on those ideas, people are first allowed to openly speak and give their ideas. Okay, next question, in an organization, how does lateral communication occur? So if you know the meaning of lateral communication, that is being indirectly asked in this question. The information is passing upwards, it is passing downwards, it is passing diagonally, it is passing between different departments and functions, or it passes in no particular direction, it can follow anywhere. The correct answer here is D. Information is passing between different departments and functions. Lateral communication is also known as horizontal communication. Okay, so communication which moves upwards is actually moving from the subordinates to their superiors. Information which move downwards means they are moving from their superiors downwards to their subordinates. Diagonally means diagonally. Okay, so communication is happening between the superior of one department or function and the subordinate of another department or function. Okay, and no particular direction. It means it is informal communication, which is also known as grapevine. Okay, next question, which of the following is not a barrier to effective communication? Is it filtering, selective perception, channel richness, language, or all of them, all of the above? The correct answer is channel richness, because channel richness actually enhances the effectiveness of communication and not reduce it. 14th question, it's like a case study. Which of the following is an example of organizing? So organizing is one of the functions of management. So if we understand what organizing is, we will be able to do this question, which is being presented in a case study kind of a format. So Manish is a lawyer at a large PR company and is preparing all of his co-workers for depositions as that they will have to face. Manish is a project manager at an IT company and is determining how he should distribute the resources and assign work and job profiles. Manish is a manager at a large PR company and he is trying to determine which people he should hire to work on his company's new proportional line. Or Manish is a director at a large IT company and he is trying to determine how his employees have performed in the past quarter, or all of the above. So which of them is an example of the organizing function? The correct answer is B. The organizing function is actually related to the allocation of resources and the delegations of authority in the organization. So here, because in B, Manish is concerned with the distribution of resources and assigning work and job profiles, he is actually performing the organizing function. The other three scenarios that have been given to you, try to figure out what function they are representing of management. And then the 15th question, Reena is the regional manager for a clothing retailer. She attends a ribbon cutting ceremony every time a new store opens for the business. Which of the Mintzberg's managerial roles is she fulfilling? Okay, so this question is again like a case study. I had talked to you in one of the questions that Mintzberg gave out 10 roles of a manager, right? So there are various roles. In this particular case, Reena is performing which of the following roles? Is she a figurehead, a liaison, a leader, a communicator, or a spokesperson? So this particular answer you will have to give in the comments box. The answer to this I will reply in the comments box later after receiving your comments. I will also discuss it in my next video related to the management important questions for your PFRDA and SEBI exam. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you are updated about the upcoming videos related to the preparation of PFRDA and SEBI. Thank you everybody and all the best.